Saudi officials refused to allow Turkish police to search water well in consulate amid Khashoggi probe.
Here's a summary of the article.
Saudi officials have refused to allow Turkish police to search a well in the garden of the kingdom's consulate in Istanbul as part of the investigation into the killing of journalist Jamal Khashoggi, the state-run Anadolu agency reported on October 24. Authorities have previously carried out inspections at the consulate and consul general's residence in Istanbul as part of the investigation. Khashoggi, a Washington Post contributor and critic of the Crown Prince, was killed after entering the Saudi consulate in Istanbul on October 2. After more than 2 weeks of vehemently denying Khashoggi was dead, the Saudi government on October 20 said he was killed in a fight inside the consulate and said the murder was not state-sanctioned. Khashoggi was a U.S. resident and had lived in self-imposed exile in Virginia since 2017, shortly after the powerful Prince Mohammed bin Salman was appointed heir to the throne. Shifting Saudi account of Khashoggi's death confirms key parts.
This post received a score of 50,382, with an upvote ratio of 93%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
I bet they'll find more than they are looking for.
Thinking the same thing. If so, time to start checking other Saudi embassies.
You know, guys, skeletons in the closet is supposed to be an idiom.
That's why they're keeping the bodies in wells.
Saudis were hoping the Turks didn't see that well.
The Saudis, you will find nothing here. One of the Turks must have been like, oh hey, let's check that well, finds dismembered core. Saudis, who the fuck checks at the bottom of the well?
You mean, who the fuck searches that well?
You win. Concrete truck should be pulling up any minute now. Whoops, we accidentally filled the well with concrete. Hope this doesn't get in the way into the investigation of the man who accidentally died.
I was just carrying these 50 tons of premixed concrete through the consulate yard to a construction site when I tripped on a well and accidentally dropped it all in.
And hit a few bone saws on the way down.
And burned some papers by accident.
And then the well tried to start a fist fight, so we blew it up into pieces.
This has become an international incident. Turkey needs to close down that consulate and expel the Saudi diplomats. They are freely murdering people in a foreign country.
Oil, money, literally nothing will happen. It's a sick world we live in.
One of the most bizarre things in my lifetime so far is watching Erdogan act less corrupt and more against murder than the president of the US. While I appreciate all he's doing lately, I can't help but think he's only doing it because it aligns with his foreign diplomacy goals. If it were in his interest to keep it quiet, I don't doubt that he would. Which is not to say that I'm not happy with how he's handling it. The world stage right now is like watching a play in which all of the characters are openly villains, each trying to be the villain.
Apparently Erdogan was a personal friend of Mr. Khashoggi. Might be other motivations, but it is interesting.
Previously, a pipeline was planned to run from Qatar through Saudi Arabia, Syria, and Turkey. Obviously that's not happening now. Turkey is annoyed that Saudi Arabia is preventing what would be a win-win for everyone. Turkey has traditionally been in political opposition to the House of Saud since before the collapse of the Ottoman Empire. Within the last decade, Turkey has made moves to increase its prestige in the Islamic world by decreasing secularization and challenging Saudi control over the area.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.